Well, it seemed like a really great performance for you guys this last week. How much momentum does that give you guys when you start stacking those games back to back playing like that?
Yeah, a lot of momentum. First off, got to give our fans and alumni a lot of credit, and I thought the atmosphere was great, and our players were able to feed off that. They've had a great week of preparation. They've been preparing the right way. The mentality was where it needed to be on game day, and we started fast. Didn't give them any chance to have any life there early on. Thought we played well on all three phases. Probably one of our most complete halves of football. Wished could have done a little better there in the second half when guys had to step up and step in. And didn't execute as well as needed to be offensively. Thought our defense played great all night, really solid on special teams. So it was a great team win. Continuing to, I thought we got a week better, and continuing to build the momentum is crucial. Obviously, if you want to have the opportunity to play in championships, you're going to have a great November. So we need to continue to, keep growing that.
Any 2 points in your last two games? You just feel like got some offensive momentum going?
Yeah, I think quarterback's playing well. Guys are making routine plays. There's not a lot of errors. Missed opportunities we haven't had in the last couple of weeks, and so. It's been great to see. It's something that I know we can do, and I know we can be explosive. Just a lack of, consistency maybe at times has caused us to, not be as good as I felt like we could. But again, the execution overall as a team has gotten much better. Consistency of it.
You got a lot of contributions from a lot of different receivers this
Yeah.
last week. Has that improved as the year's gone along, just your ability to get it to a bunch of different guys in the passing game?
Yeah, it was awesome to see that. Some guys step up, and they had great weeks of practice, and just the confidence the quarterback has in them, and/or the coaches have. Continuing to build that. And Jay Smart made some big plays when he's got in. Kalon's made big plays over the year. Obviously, Rod's been consistent. Jair's been explosive. Damon Ward's had some really good days. So it's good to get a lot of different guys touches. I think it only makes us more explosive, not being able to key on certain guys, and so it's been good for our offense. Keeps guys fresh too.
That's a good point. I guess the one downside to the way things have played out here recently is you haven't been real particularly healthy at running back. I mean, where do you guys stand with that?
We're banged up, obviously. Took another hit with Io this past week, but again, we'll see kind of where it ends up this week. We feel good about Akaika. Feels great. We just held him out there in the second half, knowing that didn't need anything else to go wrong there. But it was good for BK Quaylen to get those reps, continue to come along, and so. As the week goes, we'll kind of see exactly where we stand. But you're gonna be banged up this time of the year. It's putting everything you have into this preparation this week, and sinking all your energy and focus, and then understanding there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We have time to, after this game, to get back and regroup and hopefully heal up.
Is that going to be one of those things maybe you're going to have to wait till later in the week to see how Io is?
Yeah, just have to see. He's been out. Isaiah's been out. Obviously, with Oscar out. So just got to see kind of where they're at. They're rehabbing hard, and obviously doing everything possible to make sure that they're ready to go this weekend.
And then just if some results go your way, could clinch a spot in the CUSA Championship this weekend. Just how are you telling your team to stay focused?
1-0. It's all about. It's truly all about UAB this week. I think if you play the way we're gonna have to play really good football. UAB's a really good football team. They're very well coached. They're a very physical team. And so you're gonna have to play extremely well in all three phases on the road at their place to have success. And so that's really what I'm focused on. If you do the things necessary to, win a football game, then that all takes care of itself.
Do you feel good about BK and Quayle kind of being ready to step in if you need them here late in the season?
Yeah, they've put in a lot of great work. You know, we rep a lot of those guys throughout the week in practice all year long. And so, you know, when it's their time to step in, I have confidence they'll go in there and make plays. You know, Coach Cobbs does a great job of that group. There's a culture within that group that, you know, that they're going to be playmakers. And so just continue to work with them, you know, and they'll have a great week of prep. And it's their time to step in. I have full confidence they'll go in there and make plays for us.
How hopeful is it to have an example of someone in Ridge to that, you know, stepping in early in the season and having success with those running backs?
It's huge. And again, you know, I'm as proud as Ridge. It's just the confidence of, you know, taking coaching throughout the week and you know, light clicked on and it carried over into the games. And now, you know, he's playing very confident, playing at a high level, and, along with our defense. The last couple of weeks we played really good ball. And so we definitely need to continue to do that in order to have success this weekend, that's for sure.
Austin's just starting to string together, you know, monster game after monster game. What's been behind his success later in the year here?
I think it comes down to a couple of things. One, I think confidence. You know, I think he's seeing the field really well. I think how teams are playing us, you know, is somewhat of a factor. You know, when you're adding all the extra hats in the box, you're going to have one-on-one matchups, and he's been great with you know, being accurate on especially the deep balls, and our receivers are doing a great job winning right now. And so that's something that we have to have. I've said it all year long. I mean, it's something that kind of hurt us last year. You know, we had a lot of injuries, but you know, if you know, as good as we run the ball, you know, people are going to add extra hats. So you got to be able to win your one-on-one individual battles out there on the perimeter, and we've done a much better job of that the last couple of weeks. This week's going to be a different animal in the sense of they play really good defense, really good up front. They're athletic. In the back end, they're physical. They're going to try to get their hands on you and get you off reroutes, and they're going to man you up too. So you'll have opportunities, but you know, they're very good at what they do.
You mentioned the way we're playing defensively. I mean, what is it about UAB that stands out as an overall team to you?
Physicality. I mean, they're gonna run the ball now. They're gonna run the field and take their shots. Very similar to what we do. It's kind of I think the same philosophy. And you know, they're very good. They can hurt you on the obviously the stretch plays, but also they have a good downhill inside zone game and counter game. So you can't just rely on that thing right there. And then you know, they're very good at the skill position and the quarterbacks to where they're going to get the ball downfield. And you know, when they play action, because you're having to commit to the run a lot of times so hard because they're back. I mean, he breaks a lot of tackles. He's strong. He's physical. He runs through arm tackles, and so the more you commit, you know, you got to be very disciplined on the play action side of things because they can really hurt you quickly and be very explosive and score from far if you're not careful.
And then on UAB's quarterbacks, they've been starting Zano the last few weeks because of Hopkins' injury. Are you preparing for both quarterbacks just in case he comes back? Or
Yeah, I mean, you have to, obviously, but, you know, both of them are very good players. And Zeno, I thought, watching last week, did some really good things. He played at a high level and gaining that confidence as well. You know? So I know whichever quarterback's in there, they're going to have a great player in there. Both of them are really good players. And you know, the biggest thing we have to focus in on us and what our job is and making sure we play a physical football game.
Anything else?
Yeah. You guys seem to kind of turn a corner defensively here the last few weeks. Why have you guys played so much better defensively later in the season?
You know, I think, like offensively, just making your routine plays. You know, I think guys are, if you watch on tape, guys are flying to the football, swarm tackling. Our open field tackling has been much better. You know, some of the discipline has been much better. I'm staying on top of routes, double moves. You know, I think gaining that momentum and confidence helps as well. So I think it's a number of different things that go into effect on why you're playing good ball. But I think just as we move through the season and, you know, you build that momentum together, and you're fighting for each other. And so, but I think one of the best things I've seen over the last few weeks is the sideline. Guys, just the energy on the sideline. You know, you got Gaddy over there in the offensive huddle getting those guys going, and no vice versa. Offensive guys you see over there in defense, you know, and pumping them up and got your back. And, you know, I think that's great for your culture. It's great for the energy and the positivity on the sideline. And shoot, guys are fighting for each other.
Playing a lot of bend but don't break, it seems like. Is that paid off for you guys this year, just keeping everything in front of you?
At the end of the day, you know, our job is to keep you out of the end zone, however we need to do that. And so, you know, Phil does a great job. He's very experienced in what we do and what he does. And, you know, how we've, you know, been playing offensively the last couple of weeks, he's probably been able to be even a little bit more aggressive. But he's going to get those guys in the right, you know, positions to be successful. That's our jobs. But he does a great job of that along with the staff. And so we just got to continue to keep playing hard for each other, and especially on the road. I mean, you got to have each other's back. You got to bring your own energy, and against a great football team.
Yeah, and are the guys just super comfortable with what you're doing defensively? It certainly seems that way.
Yeah, I think our guys are experienced, you know, have the experience now, trust the system, know it. Again, it just starts clicking for some guys. You know, we've had some new guys in there that are now, your game, what, 11? So, you know, the more reps you get, the more plays you make, the easier it becomes, the more natural it becomes. And so they prepared the right way, and that's what they got to continue to do. So I think we feel pretty good about where we're at in our systems.
And I just have one follow-up question. We talked a little about Ethan Mooney last week. How comfortable do you feel with him, just with the fact that he just continues to go out there and connect every time you call on him?
He's been huge for us, not only for this year, but over his career. He's made a lot of big-time plays. And the other side, people want to see he's a great teammate, a great leader, works his tail off. Yeah, he's great for our team. And like I said, it makes life a lot easier knowing that you have an experienced guy that is confident and playing at a high level, to where, you know, if you get into a certain side of the field or a certain number, that you're pretty, for the most part, you feel very confident about getting points in the board, which is huge. It takes a lot of pressure off you offensively.
Anything else?
Just coming back to the defensive side of the ball real quick. You mentioned Dwayne McBride earlier. What makes him just such a defensive talent for your team?
He's great. He has great vision and obviously breakaway speed, but he's so strong. He breaks a lot of tackles. And, you know, it just takes one for him, because of how they run the ball. It just takes one missed tackle for him to go 70, and he's done it quite a bit. And so just watching him, how strong he runs, how physical he runs. And they do a great job schematically, and they put him in positions to make those plays, but he makes a ton of plays. And like I said, he has all the weapons to take one to the house.
All right.
All right, cool.
Appreciate it. Thank you all.
All right, Quinn, you guys played so well this last week. Do you feel like you guys are building momentum as you head into the later stages of the season?
Yeah, we really putting it together right now. And, you know, that's what something that Coach Latrell really talked about a lot. You know, like once we really put it all together, we were going to be a scary football team. And I feel like, you know, we've been putting, you know, it all together, like on all three phases of the ball, and it's showing on the field.
Defense has shown the ability to force the turnover this season more so than in previous years. Just what is it to that?
Just locking into the scheme, really. Everybody doing their job, winning their one-on-one matchups. Just really locking into practice, you know, taking the film room to the practice field, and whatever we learned throughout the week, you know, we just carried it on the game day. Coach Bennett, you know, he really emphasizes technique, you know, and all of those things. So, you know, we really carried that to the game field, and it shows now.
Now that you guys have gotten into preparing for UAB, what do you see in that team?
They can run the ball. We got to have good eyes, good discipline. They run a stretch a lot. They got some good backs. So we really got to be locked in and dialed in to, you know, stopping the run and making them one-dimensional.
Obviously, their starting quarterback, Hopkins, is a little banged up. Have you guys been watching film of both Zeno and Hopkins, or just one?
We started watching film on both of them, really. They both some good quarterbacks, so whoever is in, we'll be ready for whichever one that's really playing.
You guys are playing so well defensively the last couple of weeks. What's been the difference for you guys defensively here of late?
Just everybody buying in, everybody going all out, just going all in for each other, trusting that, the guy to your left and the guy to your right, that they're going to do the best that, that they can, trusting them, trusting the defense, really. Buying into Coach Bennett's scheme, doing everything that, he tells us to do. Practice, man, we've been picking it up in practice, just dialed into practice, dialed into the film room, dialed into what our coaches are telling us, and, it's showing now.
Just how does the unit kind of come together throughout the season?
Like the defense or just the team?
Yeah.
The defense?
Defense, yeah.
We've really been close, like, throughout, like, all year, really. So, like, once we just really just figured it out, and just started, like I said, trusting each other, and, just doing the things that we're coached to do throughout the week, and, trusting the things that we see on film. So, like, all of that has really, like, just come together, and, like, we're starting to play really good.
It seems like you're playing a lot of bend, don't break, keep everything in front of you. Is that kind of the way you've been able to avoid the big plays and kind of, really play well?
Yeah, we just, keep everything in front of us. Everybody running to the ball, making tackles. I know Coach, Coach Holly really emphasizes, the most we got to play is 3 plays if we go all out. So, we keep that mentality, man, 3 and out every play. Well, not every play, but every down, every drive, most we got to play is 3 plays, get them off the field, get the ball back to our offense, and they're going to do what they do.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about Ethan Mooney. He's been here a long time, and it's kind of been clutch for you guys. How comfortable do you feel when you know that you've got that guy in your back pocket?
Oh, yeah, we know Ethan going to make it, man, every time, man. Like, it's not even a doubt that he's going to miss it, Ethan, man, that's like good dude, on and off the field, man, even better kicker. So, we trust him even, when he's kicking the ball. We know it's going in.
You guys all seem to have that rapport with him, which is a little bit different. Kickers are kind of a different animal. Is he one of those guys that just fits in with the rest of the team despite being a kicker and all that?
Yeah, man, Ethan, he just fit in. Like, I mean, yeah, he's a kicker, but like you don't really look at him as a kicker. He's just Ethan. So like, he trips out everybody. Runs around. Dances. He do what he do, man. Be hype on the sideline. So he's not your average kicker.
What makes him not your average kicker?
Cause man, like you just got to be around him, bro. Like I feel like I feel like most kickers, they probably just like kind of chill. Ethan, like he's like, like he'll express himself. Like he's in the locker room dancing. I ain't gonna say dancing, but he joking around with everybody on the field, joking around. I know one play when he had flopped and he had kicked it and he tried to flop on the field. So like Ethan just do crazy stuff like that.
Kind of coming down to the end of KD's time here, what's it been like to play with KD Davis over the course of your career?
Man, KD's made me better, especially with like me moving to the eagle position. Like, and sometimes I had to get in the box and play linebacker, so like KD, he's constantly in my ear, like he'll tell me on the field, like what's finna come or, like what to anticipate, what to do. He brings that energy, so like I feed off of him. I feel like the team, we feed off of him, man. He's a great leader. So like, KD, like, he's a great dude.
Getting close to that tackle record, you guys kind of pulling for him to make it here?
Sorry?
So you guys kind of pulling for him to make that record? He's getting close to the career tackle mark there?
Yeah, man, he'll make it, man. KD, he fly around the field, he'll get it. So, like, I mean, we really haven't even talked about it for real, but, like, you see it around every now and then. You hear people talk about it. So, like, we know he'll get it. So, yeah, we all rooting for him.
And then just a chance to clinch a spot in the CSA championship this week. And if some results go your way, just how do you keep your mind off the noise?
We just worry about what, control we control, man. Worry about what's in this building, practice hard, watch film, study, trust what the coaches are putting into our heads, man, and, take it one game at a time, and everything else will play out how it's supposed to play out.
That's got to be a pretty good feeling to be there a little earlier in the season. You're already bowl eligible. You had to go to the very end last year, and now you're in the hunt for a spot in the conference titles. It's just gratifying to know that you guys have gotten to this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's gratifying, but, we still, we can't take our foot off the gas yet, man. Like Coach Latrell, he says that, this is just one goal. This is not, our main goal. Our main goal is to get to win the conference championship. We got a bowl game, that's cool and all, but we're not finished. We're not even like nowhere near finished yet, man. We just worried about UAB this week, really.
All right, cool.
All right,
Thanks.
thanks, Quinn.
Man, you guys are playing really well.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you guys have kind of got on a roll here late in the season. Do you feel good about the way you're playing heading into this game?
Oh, yeah, we feel great about it. You know, we've just been stacking wins, stacking the good games. You know, we're making less and less mistakes. So we're really confident heading into this week. You know, obviously they're a really good team, so we're going to have to play a lot better than we have, you know, last week. And, you know, I feel like we played good last week. You know, we just got to keep getting better week to week. So
Just what is it behind the defensive momentum?
just everybody's doing their 111th. You know, everybody's flying to the ball, understanding that we only have to do our job. You know, win your individual battle, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, because you guys struggled a little bit earlier in the season, seem to really have found it, especially the last 2 weeks. I know doing your individual job is an important part, but is there any other aspect of why you guys feel like you're getting to that point late in the year?
Just understanding the defense more and being more comfortable in the scheme of things, you know, understanding where everybody's supposed to fit and, you know, just having that knowledge to back you up when you're on the field. You know, it's made it a lot easier to play faster and play looser for us.
Because you guys lost a lot of, you know, playmakers off defense last year. Have you finally gotten to the point late in the season where maybe you have found your playmakers and the way you're going to go about it this year?
Yeah, and obviously we lost some really good players last year, but I feel like a lot of guys have stepped up, you know, like the Masons, Tom Trebe, you know, those guys, they've stepped up and played really well, you know, and, you know, any week somebody can step up, like Cortland Russo, you know, he had a really good game 1 week, you know, just everybody's, you know, they're ready, next man up mentality.
It's just comforting to know that, you know, even if someone goes down, you kind of have that, you know, deep lineup this deep into the season.
Yeah, it's definitely comforting. You know, obviously this deep in the season, everybody's a little banged up. Everybody's kind of tired. Not tired of playing, but just, you know, their bodies are just breaking down on them. You know, we got to get a little extra treatment and stuff like that. So it's definitely a good feeling knowing, you know, if you do go down, the guy behind you is just as capable.
Faced one of the better running backs, probably in Group of 5 in McBride this week. What is it that stands out about that guy?
You know, he has a really good center of balance. You know, you really got to wrap him up, run through him. You know, he's a really good back, obviously. You know, but I feel like we go against really good backs in practice every day. So, you know, that really prepares us to, you know, take on a challenge like this.
You know, Ethan Mooney has just come through for you guys over and over again. You know, he's approaching that scoring record there. What's it been like to have that guy, you know, trying to make the key kicks for you over the course of your career?
It's been great. You know, he's been here ever since I've been here. And, you know, just to have that confidence knowing that when he goes out there, you know, we're coming away with points it's crucial, you know. And he's obviously won us a lot of games here. You know, he's just a great teammate, a great person, you know, and, you know, a really good kicker, obviously.
A little different than most kickers, and he seems like he's more, you know,
Yeah,
one of the guys kind of
he's
thing.
definitely more engaged. I think that's what makes him a different kicker. He's definitely more engaged with us. You know, he doesn't stay to himself, you know, just with the specialists. You know, he's, you know, actively talking to the defense, to the offense. You know, he's around the guys a lot. You know, outside the locker room, you know, we're hanging out with them, stuff like that. So he's just engaged with us, you know, on and off the field.
What can you say about him as a leader?
He's a great leader. You know, he leads by example. You know, he won't tell you to do something that he won't do himself. You know, he's always encouraging guys, always pulling guys with him. You know, he don't leave nobody behind.
KD's kind of coming down towards the end of his career here, and you've obviously played linebackers and been close to him all this time. What's it been like to play with KD over his course of his career?
It's been awesome, man. You know, since I got here, he took me under his wing. You know, he's one of my best friends, you know, since I've got here. And, you know, to see him get so close to a record that he, you know, deserves because he worked so hard, you know, it's cool, you know. And, you know, I have no doubt he'll get it. I have no doubt he'll get all the success that's coming his way.
So you guys are kind of pulling for him to get up there?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. You know, we're always pulling for everybody on the team. But, you know, obviously knowing that a record's close for him, we're pulling for him a little more and hoping that he gets it done.
What has made him such a great player over his time here?
His work ethic. That's one thing I could definitely say about him. You know, he works harder than, you know, anybody I know. He's up here, you know, every day getting better, getting treatment, getting on the film. You know, he's just a student of the game, and, you know, he just plays so fast, you know.
Anything
That's what I
else?
was looking for.
Yep. Thanks,
All right, thanks, Kevin.